A maid in Florida was once handed a toothbrush and asked to polish 800 square feet of grout, one tile at a time. That's not a joke. That's a Tuesday in this industry. Today, you'll hear 69 of the wildest complaints ever filed against American cleaning services. And along the way, you'll find out why your dust returns in 72 hours, what OSHA says about climbing your roof, and the color-coded system real pros use. Buckle up your standards. 1. A housekeeper showed up at a mansion in Naples, Florida, and the owner greeted her at the door by handing over a toothbrush. Not for cleaning, for polishing the grout between her marble floor tiles. The entire floor. Roughly 800 square feet of it. The cleaner did the math out loud. At one tile per minute, she'd be done sometime around Thanksgiving. The lady said she'd pay for 2 hours. That's the going rate for delusion, apparently. 2. You missed a spot. That's what the client texted at midnight with a photo of a single crumb on her kitchen island. The cleaner had left 8 hours earlier. The husband had eaten a granola bar in between. Doesn't matter. 1-star review posted with the dedication of an Olympic gymnast. 3. Some folks think professional cleaners are also exterminators, plumbers, electricians, and apparently exorcists. A woman in Salem genuinely asked her maid to cleanse the negative energy from her guest bedroom after a bad breakup. The cleaner, being a professional, suggested sage. The customer said sage was too witchy and demanded she use Lysol instead. Now, Lysol kills 99.9% of germs. Ex-boyfriends are not on the label. 4. Every cleaner in America has seen the passive-aggressive list on the counter, and somewhere on that list is the phrase, deep clean the air. Clean. The air. With what exactly? A butterfly net? Air quality is handled by HVAC professionals, air purifiers, and your willingness to open a window. A microfiber cloth has never, in human history, captured oxygen. 5. A guy in Denver had his carpets professionally steam cleaned, walked across them in muddy boots 40 minutes later, and called demanding a redo at no charge. His reasoning? It's still the same day. By that logic, you could order a steak, eat half of it, throw the rest on the floor, and demand a fresh plate because dinner isn't over. The restaurant of life does not work that way. 6. An older woman in Scottsdale insisted her cleaner wipe down every single leaf of her 7-foot fiddle leaf fig. Individually, with a damp cloth. There were over 200 leaves. Now, here's a fun bit of plant science. Fiddle leaf figs actually do benefit from dusting, because dust blocks photosynthesis. But botanists recommend a quick wipe, not a leaf-by-leaf spa treatment that takes 90 minutes and a yoga mat. 7. A client in Long Island opened her refrigerator to show the cleaner a Tupperware container she swore contained leftovers from maybe Easter. It was August. The contents had developed a personality. She asked if cleaning fridges was included in the service. It was not. She got quoted an extra $50. She negotiated. The cleaner walked out. The Tupperware presumably is still in there, plotting. 8. A man called his cleaning service to complain that his bathroom mirror had streaks. The technician came back, regrained the mirror, left, and 20 minutes later got another call. Still streaks. Turned out the streaks were on the inside of his glasses. He had been looking through smudged lenses for a week. No apology. Just a quiet "oh." Click. 9. There's a category of customer cleaners called the supervisor. This is the person who hovers 2 feet behind you for the entire appointment, sighing audibly every time you move to a new room. A woman in Charleston took it to the next level by following her maid with a flashlight, inspecting baseboards in real time. The cleaner finally turned around and asked if she'd like to try. The flashlight went away. 10. Can you get the smell out of my husband's recliner? Sure. What's the smell? Him. Ma'am, we are not magicians. Upholstery cleaning can pull out sweat, food, pet dander, and a respectable amount of mystery, but it cannot perform a personality transplant on furniture. The husband, by the way, was sitting in the chair during this entire conversation. He just shrugged. 11. A customer demanded a full refund because her cleaner didn't make the beds correctly. Apparently, the corners weren't hospital grade. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Actual hospital corners require a flat sheet, ironed creases, and about 10 minutes per bed. Most cleaning contracts allot roughly 2 minutes for bed making. If you want a military-grade tuck, hire a soldier, or marry one. 12. A woman in Tulsa refused to pay because her cleaner left water in the toilet. Yes, that's where water lives. That's the entire design of a toilet. Without water in the bowl, sewer gas comes up through the pipes, and your house starts smelling like a porta-potty at a county fair. The cleaner tried to explain plumbing basics. The customer doubled down. The cleaner billed her anyway and won in small claims. 13. Move-out cleanings are a different beast. A landlord in Brooklyn called demanding the cleaner remove 20 years of memories from the unit before the new tenant arrived. He meant the smell of his old tenant's lifestyle, which involved chain-smoking unfiltered cigarettes from the Reagan administration onward. Nicotine residue actually soaks into drywall and requires sealing with a primer like Kills before repainting. A Swiffer cannot fight a presidential legacy. 14. A client called her cleaning company to file a complaint that her maid had rearranged her dust. Not removed it, rearranged it. She wrote a 1-star review and attached a 5-paragraph essay describing how the dust had been redistributed in a malicious pattern. The cleaner framed a copy of that review and hung it in the break room. Some complaints become folklore in this business. 15. A homeowner in Sacramento asked her cleaning service to scrub her solar panels on the roof. Not unreasonable, except she wanted the maid to climb up there with a bucket and a sponge. No harness, no training, no insurance for working at heights. OSHA fines for unprotected roof work started around $15,000 per violation. The cleaner declined. The customer called her not a team player. 16. Why does my house smell like vinegar? Because, ma'am, you specifically requested no chemicals and vinegar is the alternative. Well, I don't like the smell of vinegar either. Okay, what would you like us to use? Something natural that smells like a Yankee candle. That product doesn't exist. That's a paradox. You just invented an oxymoron and put it in a cleaning brief. 17. A bride-to-be in Nashville hired a deep cleaning crew the day before her wedding and complained that the white linen napkins they ironed had the wrong kind of crispness. Too crispy, apparently. Linen, just so we're clear, has a starch threshold. You either iron it firm or you let it flop. There is no middle setting on the crispness dial. The cleaner offered to uniron them. The bride did not appreciate the humor. 18. A man in Cleveland complained that his cleaner stole his vintage Playboy magazine collection. The cleaner had never touched them. They were in a locked cabinet in the basement. 2 weeks later, his wife came forward. Turns out she'd been donating them, one at a time, for the past 6 months. The cleaner got a public apology on Facebook. The marriage did not survive the quarter. 19. There's a particular type of complaint that comes from people who own all white everything. White couch, white rug, white walls, 3 large dogs. They call furious that the maid didn't get the paw prints out. Friend, that's not a cleaning issue. That's a design flaw you chose. Professional carpet techs will tell you white pile in a high-traffic home has a realistic clean lifespan of about 11 minutes. 20. A woman in Maine called her cleaning service in tears because her house didn't feel clean. The kitchen sparkled. The bathrooms shined. Everything was textbook. So what was the issue? She couldn't explain it. The owner gently suggested it might not be the house. The customer thought about it, paused, and said, "I think I just hate my husband." The cleaner was not trained for this, but stayed on the line for 40 minutes anyway. Now that's customer service. 21. A client in Boise was outraged that her cleaner used the same mop in the kitchen and the bathroom. Now she had a point, except the cleaner had used color-coded microfiber pads, swapped between rooms, and disinfected the mop head between zones. Professional cleaners follow what's called the red, blue, yellow, green system. Red for bathrooms, blue for general, yellow for kitchens, green for high risk. The customer didn't want to hear it. She wanted to be mad. 22. My maid moved my couch, and now the floor is dirty under there. Yes, that's where the dirt was. That's why she moved the couch. The dirt didn't appear when she moved it. It was revealed. Like an archaeological dig. Imagine being upset at a doctor for finding a problem during a checkup. 23. A guy in Reno hired a cleaning crew for his bachelor pad and asked if they could tidy up his collection of energy drink cans. He had been collecting for 4 years. There were over 2,000 cans, arranged by color, stacked floor to ceiling, in 3 rooms. The cleaner asked if he wanted them recycled. He gasped, like she had suggested putting his children up for adoption. They left the cans alone and charged extra for the air quality. 24. Customers who treat their cleaners like they're invisible love to complain when the cleaner doesn't read their mind. A woman in Atlanta left 0 instructions, no checklist, no notes, then filed a complaint that her cleaner should have known she wanted the linen closet reorganized by thread count of towels. The cleaner is not psychic. The cleaner is a person with a vacuum. 25. A homeowner accused her cleaner of stealing a diamond earring. Police were called. Statements were taken. The cleaner cried in the squad car. 3 days later, the earring was found inside the woman's own ear. The other ear. She had 2 diamond earrings in one lobe and 0 in the other. Never apologized. Never paid the final invoice. The cleaner left the industry. True story. 26. The Roomba was running while she cleaned and she didn't acknowledge it. That was an actual written complaint. The cleaner was supposed to, what, wave at it? Salute? Greet a robot vacuum like a coworker? Roombas are not employees. They cannot be offended. They have one job and a 30-minute battery life. Your maid does not owe it pleasantries. 27. A bride in Dallas wanted her cleaning company to bleach her wedding dress white. The dress was ivory. Ivory is a chosen color. She had ordered it in ivory, paid extra for ivory, and now wanted it not ivory. Bleach on a silk blend gown cost the gown its life. The cleaner refused. The bride threw the dress at her and screamed, "Then what good are you?" Marriage off to a strong start. 28. An elderly man in Buffalo called his cleaning service 6 times in 1 week to redo his living room. The house was already spotless. The cleaner finally asked what was wrong. He admitted quietly that his wife had passed last month, and he just wanted someone to come over. The company kept sending her. They didn't charge after the second visit. Some industries have hearts. 29. A woman left a sticky note saying, "Please do not move anything." Then a second note, "Please dust everything." How? How does one dust without moving anything? Are we levitating the lamps now? Are the picture frames going to clean themselves? This is the cleaning equivalent of, "Make me a sandwich but don't open the bread." 30. A man in Phoenix wanted his pool cleaned by his housekeeper. She politely explained that pools are an entirely different licensed industry involving chemistry, pH balance, and equipment training. He said, and this is verbatim, "It's just water, how hard can it be?" Pool service techs in Arizona earn certifications that take 6 months. Mishandling chlorine can cause chemical burns, respiratory damage, and in concentrated form, actual explosions. Not just water, my friend. 31. A customer threatened legal action because her cleaner left a faint citrus smell after using an all-natural orange-based degreaser. She claimed she was allergic to oranges. Fine, fair enough. Except she had requested an all-natural product because she was allergic to chemicals. Everything is a chemical. Water is a chemical. Oranges are a chemical. The universe is a chemistry set. Pick a lane. 32. A client demanded her cleaner pluck individual cat hairs out of her white wool rug with tweezers. The rug had been laying in a house with 3 cats for 9 years. There were, conservatively, 8 million hairs woven into the fibers at this point. The cleaner offered a deep extraction service for $150. The customer countered with $20 and do your best. Math is a real thing. 33. Why didn't she clean the inside of my piano? Because pianos are precision instruments worth thousands of dollars, with felt hammers, copper wound strings, and tuning that can be ruined by humidity, dust products, or a single misplaced cloth. Professional piano cleaning is done by piano technicians. Your housekeeper opening up a Steinway with Windex is how you lose a family heirloom and a friendship. 34. A man in Vermont complained that his cleaner left footprints on his freshly mopped floor. The footprints were hers. From walking out of the room after mopping. There is no version of this job that ends with the cleaner teleporting to the front door. Unless he wants her to mop herself out backwards in a crab walk, footprints are physics. 35. A customer asked her cleaning company, "Can you make my house smell like a hotel?" Hotels smell like industrial-grade cleaning chemicals applied at scale by overworked staff. "Are you sure that's what you want in your home?" She said yes. 2 days later, complaint filed. "House smells too strong." Yeah, that's the hotel smell. That is, by definition, what you ordered. 36. A homeowner sued her cleaning service for emotional distress because the maid had used the wrong furniture polish. She wanted Pledge Lemon. The cleaner used Pledge Original. The case got laughed out of small claims. The judge actually said, on the record, "Ma'am, this is wood furniture, not your firstborn child." Court transcripts are public record, and that one made the rounds. 37. There's a phenomenon in this industry called the complaint cycle. Customer pays for a basic clean, expects a deep clean, complains, gets a free deep clean, then expects the next basic clean to also be a deep clean. Rinse, repeat. Companies actually track this pattern. After 3 cycles, you get politely dropped. The industry calls it client retirement. You don't get fired. You get retired. 38. A woman in Kansas asked her cleaner to Marie Kondo her garage. Marie Kondo is a methodology requiring the client to handle each object and decide if it sparks joy. The cleaner cannot determine what sparks joy in someone else's life. That is, philosophically and legally, your job. The cleaner left after the customer started crying over a 1998 license plate. 39. She didn't clean behind the fridge. It's a built-in unit. It does not move. Behind it is the cold, dark void where lost magnets and a single grape from 2017 live undisturbed. Pulling a built-in fridge can damage the floor, the cabinetry, the waterline, and the appliance itself. Most professionals will tell you, that's a service call for an appliance specialist, not a Tuesday morning maid. 40. A customer left a note that said, "Do not use any products with fragrances, dyes, sulfates, parabens, alcohol, ammonia, bleach, or anything tested on animals." So basically, water. The cleaner used water. The customer complained the house didn't feel clean. There is a name for what this customer wants. It's called magic. Magic is not a service offered. 41. There's a whole subculture of customers who try to test their cleaners by hiding objects around the house. A quarter behind the toilet, a popcorn kernel under the couch. One woman in Indianapolis taped a dollar bill to the bottom of her trash can. The cleaner found it, assumed it had fallen there, and threw it out with the trash. Cue the explosive complaint about a thief. Industry tip: if you want a good cleaner, hire one and pay attention. Booby traps are not management. 42. A cleaning company in Phoenix received a written complaint that read, "The cleaner was too quiet. I forgot she was here and it was uncomfortable when I walked in on her." The job is to be efficient and unobtrusive. Would you prefer she announce herself in each room like a town crier? "Hear ye, now dusting the ottoman." Some customers want a maid, some want a tour guide. 43. A woman hired a move-in cleaning service for her new apartment and immediately complained that the place smelled like cleaner. That's what cleaner smells like. That's the smell of cleaning. She wanted it to smell like a fresh start. A fresh start is an abstract concept. It does not come in a spray bottle. 44. A man asked his housekeeper to kill the mold in his shower. She suggested he call a remediation specialist because the discoloration on his grout had spread to the ceiling. He insisted it was just dirt. She left. 3 weeks later, building inspectors red-tagged his unit for black mold infestation. He sued, not the inspector, the cleaner, for not warning him strongly enough. The case went nowhere. The mold went everywhere. 45. A client once filed a written complaint that read, "She wiped the counters in the wrong direction." Wrong direction. There is no compass on a kitchen island. Counters do not have a grain. The cleaner had to ask for clarification. The answer was, and I quote, "You should know." She did not know. Nobody knows. 46. A customer in Miami asked her cleaner to freshen up the inside of her car as a courtesy, not a service she had paid for, not a service the company offered. The car was filled with 2 months of fast food trash, a child's full sippy cup of fermented milk, and what the cleaner later described as a smell I will take to my grave. Auto detailing exists for a reason. Use it. 47. Cleaning companies actually blacklist customers and share names quietly across local networks. If you go through 4 cleaning services in a year, every owner in town knows your name. By the 5th call, they're suddenly fully booked indefinitely. You're not bad luck, you're flagged. It's a tight-knit industry and word travels faster than your last 1-star review. 48. A homeowner accused her cleaner of breaking a vase. The vase was broken when she had arrived, swept up, and bagged with a note explaining she found it that way. The customer claimed she must have broken it earlier and hidden the evidence. Eventually, security camera footage showed the dog knocked it over. The cleaner was owed an apology. She got a $50 Starbucks gift card. Not the same thing. 49. The toilet bowl still has a ring. Yes, because that ring is mineral deposits from hard water that have been building up for 15 years. It is calcium. It is physically attached to the porcelain. Removing it requires a pumice stone, a chemical descaler, and about an hour of dedicated scrubbing. That's an upcharge, not a Tuesday inclusion. 50. One client wrote a complaint that simply said, "Bad vibes." That was the entire review, no specifics, no examples, just bad vibes. The cleaning company called for clarification. The customer said she couldn't explain it, but knew something was off. 3 months later, she admitted she had been going through a divorce and took it out on the maid. Therapy exists. Use that one too. 51. A woman in Oregon insisted her cleaner clean the wood-burning fireplace while it was still warm from the night before. The cleaner declined because, well, hot ash and lung damage. The customer said it had been off for hours. Embers in ash can retain heat for up to 72 hours and cause house fires when disturbed. Fire departments respond to dozens of these every winter. The maid was not about to become a statistic. 52. A man complained that his cleaner didn't shake out the welcome mat. The welcome mat. Outside. With a wind advisory that day, she would have been the first cleaner in history to be hospitalized by a flying choir doormat. There are days where weather wins. That was one of them. 53. Every cleaning company has a customer who pulls the "I'll be home in a minute" lie. The cleaner arrives. House is locked. Customer texts 5 minutes out. 2 hours later, still not home. Cleaner is parked in the driveway on the clock, watching the gas tank drain. Most companies charge a lockout fee starting at $50. Your minute is the company's overhead. Respect the schedule. 54. A complaint about a cleaner not knowing where things go came from a woman whose entire kitchen had no logical organization. Spices in the refrigerator, pots under the bathroom sink, forks in the office drawer. The cleaner had spent 20 minutes searching for the dish soap, which was located, naturally, in the bedroom. There is no system to learn here. There is only chaos. 55. A homeowner in New Hampshire complained her cleaner had ruined her cast iron skillet by washing it. Cast iron requires seasoning, oil layering, and a specific care routine that does not include soap, soaking, or a steel wool pad. Now, the cleaner had actually done it right. She had wiped it with a paper towel and re-oiled it. The customer just didn't recognize a properly maintained pan. Cast iron culture runs deep. So do misunderstandings. 56. Can you clean inside the dryer vent? Sure, that's actually really important. Lint buildup causes around 15,000 house fires a year in this country. Can you also clean inside the dryer, ducting going to the roof? Now we've left the realm of housekeeping and entered HVAC territory. Different license, different equipment, different bill. The cleaner offered the lint trap. He wanted the roof. They parted ways. 57. A guy in Tampa asked his cleaner to wash his collection of 47 Beanie Babies individually by hand in lukewarm water. She did it. She charged him for 3 hours. He complained the prices were outrageous. Sir, you requested artisanal Beanie Baby spa treatment. That is not a value menu service. 58. She used the wrong sponge. There are now wrong sponges. The right sponge was, apparently, a specific blue one that lived under the third drawer in a labeled Ziploc. There was no label. There was no Ziploc. There was only a regular sponge being used regularly. The customer wrote a 6-paragraph complaint about sponge protocol. The company framed it next to the dust complaint. 59. A customer once filed an actual complaint that read, "The cleaner brought her own products." Yes, that's the service. That's literally the business model. The whole point is you don't have to stock up on supplies. Cleaners arrive with equipment, the way a plumber arrives with a wrench. Imagine calling your dentist furious because he brought his own drill. 60. A homeowner asked her cleaner to deal with a wasp's nest in the garage. Pest control. Different industry. Stinging insects. The cleaner said no for obvious reasons. The customer called her afraid of bugs. She was not afraid of bugs. She was afraid of anaphylactic shock, which kills around 60 Americans a year. Wasps don't care about your cleaning schedule. 61. A client in Houston returned home and immediately filed a complaint that her cleaner didn't clean the ceiling. The ceiling. Not watermarks, not cobwebs. The actual flat surface of the ceiling, which was white, smooth, and exactly where it had been for 40 years. Ceilings are not part of standard service. They require ladders, specialty extension dusters, and a death wish. Add-on, please. 62. She didn't iron my sheets. Nobody irons sheets anymore. Outside of high-end hotels and your grandmother in 1964, ironing bedding is a forgotten ritual. Cotton sheets get smoother with time and body heat. You are sleeping on them, not displaying them at a state dinner. Relax. 63. A man complained that his cleaner had watched television while working. She had not. She had vacuumed in front of a TV that was already on. The husband had left it playing ESPN. He filed a complaint based on assumption alone. Workplace surveillance footage cleared her. She got a bonus. He got blocked. 64. A customer wrote a complaint that broke the entire office. My cleaner did not respect the sacred space of my crystal collection. She had asked the cleaner to dust the shelf. The cleaner had dusted the shelf. The crystals had been moved approximately 2 inches to the left during cleaning. This apparently disrupted the energy grid. Refunds were not issued. Energy grids were not restored. 65. A woman tried to cancel her cleaning contract because her maid had looked at her husband. The maid was 62 years old, married for 40 years, and had 3 grandchildren. The husband was, by all accounts, ordinary. This complaint was less about cleaning and more about projection. The cleaner kept the contract. The husband kept his ordinariness. 66. A customer asked her cleaner to remove a coffee stain from her white linen sofa. The cleaner mentioned that white linen plus daily life equals a doomed relationship. The customer insisted. The cleaner did her best, the stain lifted 90%, and the customer rated the work 2 stars because it wasn't 100. Reality check. There is no cleaning product on Earth that hits 100% on a set stain. Chemistry has limits. Expectations should too. 67. A homeowner complained that his cleaner took too long on the bathroom. He timed her. 47 minutes. Industry standard for a deep bathroom clean is between 40 and 60 minutes. She was, by every metric, exactly on pace. He wanted it done in 15. At 15 minutes, you're not cleaning a bathroom. You're waving at it on the way out. 68. A woman called her cleaning service demanding they come back and clean again because her house felt different. The cleaner had moved a single throw pillow from one chair to another. She had moved it back to where it belonged according to the homeowner's original photo reference. The homeowner was wrong about her own photo. The pillow was, in fact, in its original position. Some people just need to be upset. 69. A man called his cleaning company to ask if they could send the same maid every week, but a different one for the harder rooms. The cleaner was the same person. He just thought the bathroom maid and the kitchen maid were 2 different people because she changed gloves between rooms. That's good hygiene practice, sir. That is not a clone. Same human, same service, same invoice. Here's a thought to sit with. Most of these complaints weren't filed by villains. They were filed by ordinary people who genuinely believed they were right. So here's my real question for the comments. Have you ever filed a complaint you later realized was completely insane? Be honest. We've all done it. The brave admit it. And if you walked away knowing something new about this industry, hit the like button and subscribe, because the next video is going to make this one look polite.